Hi, I'm Dustin, and today on the barrel, Lost Lantern Single Cask Westward Single Malt Port Cask Finished Whiskey. I want to introduce you to Lost Lantern. If you don't know of them or haven't heard of them yet, they're an independent bottler based in, I think, Vermont. If they're not, correct me in the comments. Instead of primarily, sourcing whiskey from other distilleries or certain number of distilleries and then creating their own product with it or aging it in their own barrels, maybe they do some of that, but they primarily try to focus on showcasing really good whiskey from craft distilleries and smaller distilleries all across the US. So they'll go and select often just single casks from, smaller American distilleries like Westward, and then bottle it under their label to share and shine a light on those distilleries and the really good whiskeys that those distilleries are producing. In this case, we've got Westward Single Malt, which, if that rings a bell, it's because I just recently did a video on the Westward Single Malt Stout Cask finish. And if you haven't seen that, you gotta check it out. But this was very intriguing to me because I've loved anything I've had that has come out of Westward, and I've honestly loved all three of the Lost Lantern picks that I have. So yeah, looking at the bottle here, nothing particularly out of the ordinary. It's a tall boy. On the front here, this is a hand-selected single cask, Westward whiskey, Oregon single malt, finished in port cask, distilled in Portland. And this one is from 2022, single cask P1, 64% alcohol, 750 milliliters. On the back here, plenty of information, which I love to see. Some of this first just says, Lost Lantern's an American independent bottler, and then it goes into talk about this particular whiskey, which was a single malt aged for 4 years in new American oak, and then an additional 1 year in port casks. It doesn't say what kind of port on here, but I think I saw online that it was Adega port casks. I'm sure that's a style of port. I don't know about it, but I'm sure it's delicious, and I can't wait to try it in this. Well, sort of in this. Because of the cask, it's not really in this, but it's influenced. And then the stuff, and then it goes into some tasting notes here, and ends with, "It is like picking the very last flowers of autumn as the sun sets." I mean, does it get any better than doing that activity during that time? Let's give it a shot. But first, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe if you want to. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hate this video, give it a big old thumbs down. Leave a comment down below if you've had anything else from Lost Lantern that I should try and check out, or anything else from Westward that I should check out. Would love to know about it. Okay. Pour a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. Ooh, that has a really nice red hue to it. I don't know if that will pick up on the old lens there. Looks really nice. All right, on the nose. Ooh, there's a lot there. That is a dense nose. Right away, it was like red berries, like red raspberries, and the only word I can think of is like just earth, like a grassy tanginess a little bit. I know that might sound weird, but it's really nice blended into this. They weren't kidding about the flowers of autumn as the sun sets. And then that single malt, I'm sure that's what that sort of earthy grassiness is coming from, is that single malt grain. There's definitely some darker caramels in here. I can't get past that initial red berry. I mean, that is very apparent right away, which is why I love port casks so much. The flavors of whiskey go so well with red fruits, in my opinion. All right, see how it tastes. Cheers. really, I know I said dense already, but on the palate too, dense, like viscous, almost syrupy. That single malt grain really punches through. That port cask now is a little less of a bright red fruit and now more of a dark red fruit, or a dark, like almost I guess a plum. What was vibrant or bright on the nose is sort of now like just like condensed. Like if you reduced like a thing of berries or blueberries or something. I'm sure there's a word for it. I'm not a chef, but a thing of berries. There's also some good spiciness, pepperiness. It is a higher proof. It says it was 64%. So at 128 proof, it has a little bit of a bite, but it's welcomed here because I think that sort of just accentuates all of these flavors. Oh, now in the nose, there's a little bit of like a dustiness, like and maybe it's because I read the thing about the autumn flowers, but it does sort of have the distant, if you're outside on a really dry, cool autumn day, and like crunchy leaves, and it hasn't rained or anything for a long time, and there's just sort of that like dust, that allergy air, that fresh, dry air after a hot, humid summer is refreshing. Now a little bit more of that caramel. I think some of those darker wood characters are coming through. That more red berry is subsiding slightly. One thing I love about this whiskey is that with every sip, it doesn't seem to like thin out or decrease in flavor. What is the word I'm looking for? It just continues to stay right there. Every flavor you tasted at the beginning is right there still. I'd be curious to know what this is like over a large cube of ice, especially perhaps on a fall evening. I think they really did nail it with that descriptor at the end. Like picking the very last flowers of autumn as the sun sets, specifically. Can't drink this in the morning. You have to drink it as the sun sets. Great job, whoever at Lost Lantern had a hand in choosing this cask. This is delicious, and of course, great job, Westward, for even making it. Can't recommend Lost Lantern enough, really. I've only had 3 things from them so far, but not only has it been good, but it has been like a unique, amazing whiskey that I will savor and share with people who I know will appreciate it. With a lot of these whiskeys, likely the same cask and bottling is only, good to produce so many, and when they're gone, they're gone. A little bit taking a chance every time in that respect, but their reputation precedes them. Is that what you say? I think so. They've got a great reputation. Hey, thanks for watching once again. Be sure to tune in next time when I show you how to DIY your own bench to sit on. Okay?